Welcome back to Prussia, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, this is going to be a critical time. As I've said last few times, whenever things feel like critical, like what do you mean by critical? Well, let me tell you what's critical here. This man here, Kunkite the Brute. You know that tiny guy who is brawny and once cheated at an arm wrestling contest just by sliding his elbow in order to win? Yeah, that guy. 41 years old. He's become craven, suffers from cancer, but he's got no sons. I mean, he does have a healthy daughter for once, but no sons. So a child is needed right now. And I wanted to switch to a theology focus, but I've come to the realization this does not give me health benefits. That would provide me an early death. But do not panic. Your cancer is a mild one. Well, it's a -3 here. But that's a -2 thanks to the... So we just kind of even it out here. I'm also brawny, and I'm a brilliant strategist. And you're going to have to wait until, probably 9:29. Well, that's when I will worship the ancestors again. In which I would wish a long, healthy life. That's what I would want to wish my ancestors next time. But now, as I said, I'm desperate for a son. Don't care if it's child or concubine now. The question now is, any single women around here? Courtier, Livonian, child of a concubine. You're young, you're quite but eek, chaste. "21 years old. Oh man. This is how desperate I am. It's like, hey, any good looking widows around here? And she's tall, she's attractive, but dutiful cleric. Here's one. Can I have her? She actually lives here in the court. Well, go figure. Yay. Now, where else? And don't mind me being short and homely. That's just who I am. None of the priestess, obviously. Here's a big maybe. I say big maybe. Yeah, childhood, being a child in Prussia or anywhere in the Baltic is rough. Is claimant. I do have a little bit of money to spare, so why don't we just do this then? Present David on. Lucky. There. My wife and my 3 concubines. But keep in mind, my wife is pregnant, but we cannot guarantee that this is going to be a son. A healthy son, most importantly. I don't have long to live. And if we do get a son, I want these concubines out of here. This is just for desperation, alright? One son to inherit all the titles. That's what's needed. Let me drink. Well, also at the same time, I should be doing a little bit more of that. Spend a renown on something since I'm the hero of this warrior lodge. Start off with warrior training. As a member of the Band of Medina, I'm becoming familiar with their training and what they value. May gain a commander trait to reflect this. Yeah, of us would be proud of you, Dalaran tells me, inspecting my maps of Zambia. Check it out, we've been setting up some wilderness exercises. In fact, my lord, I think you're a natural at this, woman concludes. Thank you, Dalaran, that means a lot. You know, the mercenary who now lives all the way over there. I'm a forest ambusher now. Could fight better in forest, defense, and flanking. Could have used that while we were raiding. And now choose military aspect. As a member of the Vanderminion, I could choose to focus on specific military aspect of the warrior's life. Doing so will allow me to choose a lifestyle trait. My fellow members of the band have long been wondering when I will choose a focus for my fighting talents. There are those who live the art of dueling, while others prefer the more theoretic side of combat. Yet hunting is a worthwhile pursuit. My father, the great Kunkite, was a duelist, so I should go for strategist. You know, need that stewardship because domain size. I want to delve deeper into strategic thinking, so this will lead to the strategist trait. No need for hunting. I don't hunt for a living. Not anymore. I've told the valley my endeavor to follow the path of Zemna. In her name, I've arranged harvest festivals and fertility rites. I've spent many hours inspecting the fields of Zambia. As a result, my stewardship skills have been improving. Oh, really? Not enough, so hopefully this strategist trait will try to help me a bit. And I also damn my wife that she's manipulative towards me. You hear what I said? I damn my wife. In fact, I'm gonna damn her one more time if this isn't a son. Quit damning people, damn it. The stack of books in front of me is intimidating. My scholars tell me that these are classics for anyone interested in an introduction of strategic warfare. But I am King Kunkite. Surely I do not need the basics. Should I not be out on the field serving the troops firsthand? Well, I am raiding right now. I do like a little bit of learning, so there is value in the historical records. How about I compose a book? Yeah, none of the predecessors ever found the time to compose a book, but to compose a work of literature is not an undertaking for everyone. Having spent a lot of time thinking it over, I have some of my closest admirers and best scribes. When they ask me what this work shall be focused on, I pause only for a second. I'll be targeting the complexity of war, or something along those lines. Despite the fact that I am slightly dying from cancer, but I'll be fine. Remember, we can't guarantee that this is going to be a son. Is he healthy? He is! The line is saved! Now these lists of Prussian names are rather complex. Even some of those names are a bit funny in terms of when you try to pronounce them. Zandovs. That sounds least funny sounding. Zandovs. It's gonna be his name. Don't name it after Rubkin. Because nobody can compare it to Rubkin, the horse killer. Yes, I have a son! Now I gotta get rid of those concubines quickly. Set you all aside. Get out! Get out! All I want is a healthy son. And just only one. And with that, no need to have increased fertility. The only other healthier lifestyle is hunting. Even though I did say I'm not going to make too much of a living in hunting. But now, in truth, let's see, look, with cancer, -3. Mild and a successful treatment, and you already live a much healthier lifestyle, so you'll be fine. What you need is to improve your stewardship. Maybe perhaps go into business. You know, we need more sources of income. What if it's resources or the trade routes here? What else? Or even scholarship. Yes. Thinking. What to do, what to do, what to do. Don't I already have a smuggler ring? Or a smuggler operation? No, I don't. Okay, you know what? Go for intrigue instead. Oh, but that lowers stewardship. Damn it! I'm sure you'll figure it out. When you get rid of that manipulative spouse, it'll go up on its own. I'm just kind of divided out of business or scholarship. But remember, you need to reform the faith. The moral authority is there. You just need this, so that lowers stewardship too. You know, increased learning means slightly more piety gain. I don't think it hurts to do this first. So my ambition will see the realm prosper. Because we don't plan on going any wars, but we do plan on raiding our neighbors for more money. Should mark that as important. Just inherited a chiefdom. You get to have this land. Don't want that. And also, thanks for the money. Since that boy just died, and I picked up a Sampo fragment, a trading stall, and a caravan. That Sampo fragment, by the way, that's for the relic faith only. One of the 9. And you can't, even if I were to find more of them, it still wouldn't matter because you have to be of that particular religion. Now we can build that observatory. I've begun the construction of the observatory. It will take some time to collect all necessary materials and get everything in order. Can't wait. Healthy son. Very happy. Me. Lately, I've strived to act in the spirit of Zemna by treating my wife with respect and warmth. Slowly has changed the dynamic of my relationship, but those who are close to me have noticed it as well. No need for that. I already have a son, just one. Having a second one would be trouble. Yet I cannot bring myself to touch her. So the fertility is now drastically reduced. My commanders have come to request my advice on some exercise they are performing outside of fortress walls. We could really use that strategic mind of yours, Master, they say. Startled, I realize that my studying has paid off, and my chest swells with pride. Then I collect myself, nodding. Of course I would be happy to help. Not going anywhere. Typically, what you'll want to consider is set up like this. Soon I'm targeted the jester while receiving oohs and ahs and even distribution. Now I'm a strategist, so there you have it. There's a lot of money in this temple, hopefully. Ooh. Troops ransacked the temple. They said it covered an interesting relic that is hidden away there. A broken weapon. Well, that's all there is to find there. Vassals will continue to expand at my expense. Here's a temple. Be careful. Looking for potential places to loot. And I guess the Avars have already done that. 2 bishoprics. Here we go. Here's a place. And a city too. Head to there. Our observatory is finally ready. It is with great anticipation that I prepare to make my first observations. I wonder what strange things I'll discover. You're just going to be studying stars a bit, then in 2 years switch to theology for more piety. My liege, I notice your mind seems to drift off whenever you discuss monetary issues. I believe you're making things to make things interesting. Want to introduce to the subject where it's directly relevant to myself. Perhaps you'd like to join tomorrow on a full day's work. Well, yes, that would be interesting. I got nothing better to do. Other than raiding, of course. A hostile agent operating in Vormia was able to feel discontent of the local populace against my rule. Disability promotes decline, so... Chief Teclis starts the day off collecting taxes. Some people frown and complain when they give away their earnings. Chief Nicholas calmly explains why tax collected and manages to appease the complainers. Guess you're doing this to me because it's just to improve the base of it. Maybe we could squeeze him a few more. I'll become greedy. Today brings me to the nearest construction site to evaluate progress. The chief notices that the builders are lagging behind the agreed schedule and proceeds to question them. The builders complain about the weather and want more to pay to cover the delays. He looks over my way, waiting a response. We'll hold our end of the deal when you hold yours. A friend has come to visit the chief this evening. The three of me having a good time discussing my experience over a fine evening's meal. The visitor nods at me, saying, "How lucky you are, Tickless, to have a liege who understands your work. This cooperation should benefit both of you." Oh dear. I'll just say it wasn't for me. It feels like stealing. Become charitable and shy. Don't want to lose diligence. What? That's too many traits, so some of that's gotta go. Got rid of shy. An enemy pirate fleet is operating off my waters. It's causing significant commercial loss for the province. What am I supposed to do? Organize fleet to attack the pirates. The action depends on luck. The character's martial for best or worst. And the character will have a significant advantage winning if he's a pirate lord himself. That's still too many traits. Total victory. The naval action against the pirate fleet was a resounding success. My ships were able to outfight the enemy, and in the end I could even sell a few captured vessels to make some gold out of this venture. The mood of the province improves and my prestige swells. It's serene again. Along with a little bit of money. Crap, lost diligent. No, no, no. Also, what's going on in Kiev again? Oh yeah, Restless, that we're putting a crown focus on. Should do as a minister of the realm. We're gonna be living in peace, we don't need warriors right now. If you leave it on too long, you're gonna get a significant prestige hit. Wonderful news. Everything's level 2 now. Gotta do something with that money now. You can provide this many ships, but I believe there's room for improvement. Such as any of the cities or temple shipyards. More vassal ships. Shape it that way. Because sooner or later we're going to have to start doing the overseas raids. Particularly to Norse lands. And the German-speaking lands. On their coasts. Saxon. Maybe. I received news now that thanks to the help of a notorious criminal, the Grand Duke Saddlesaw has been able to forge a claim against some of my lands. Does he know no decency? You have no power here. Are you stupid? That's as my real-life brother would say. Spent many nights looking at the stars in my observatory. It was truly fascinating. There are so many questions to ask. Scratching my head, thinking, is there something strange out there? Told you there's a lot of money in this. These dam of ours. Above and beyond. It seems the peasants of Riza have pleaded for an audience with me. I usually don't lose my valuable time with these lowly persons, but my steward, against my better judgment, insists that I receive them for once. However, Principal Stan, it is not fitting to my birth and station to mingle with these peasants, so I'll cancel the meeting, even if they already made the travel to the capital. Yes, this is my enlightened decision. I experienced the event because I'm proud. There's a chance the cancellation of this meeting eluded the event. Text with the local peasant leaders caused a very bad impression with further consequences. The high stewardship ups to me voting its Medicom. Should have humility. From the city then. You know what? We need more raiders. How dare the peasant leaders become disappointed with just not receiving them, disappointed with me. But this incredible fact happened and carried the consequences when they returned to Riza. Nowadays, the peasants don't know how to kneel anymore. We once raided the Java, but now you want to raid there again? That's an awfully large, petty kingdom. Stuff usually happens. Observing the stars at night, I've begun to sense some irregular movements. Also notice that the stars seem to appear and disappear at all times. I need to study this more. That star there disappears when I look directly at it. I become paranoid, but also become diligent. Please don't lose diligence. For a time, instincts for specific emphasis. My guarded and cautious nature was mistaken by paranoia as the weeks passed. It was clear to everyone I don't suffer from such horrible conditions. I was looking at the stars. I got paranoid here. Alright. Worry instead. So don't judge me. I've come into some information I may believe useful. Namely that Jason has engineered a plot against my person. Be advised and act accordingly. I haven't really looked at the plots as of late. Quite honestly. Anything towards me. Yeah. I see. Auto stop plots. And then just to clear it a bit. Including those who are backing one's plots are also out. Thank you. Thank you. Alright. Some say you cannot stop me. We shall see. We're done here. This area next. Not gonna go into Shimmy, so they're still raiding mercilessly. But we'll be heading up there soon. From all the way over there, you're antagonizing me. I could start a robbery war if I want to, but no, I am committed to peace. Peace and raiding. And potential overseas raids as well. Hope you felt safe enough in Zambia. I'm no longer weary. God, thank goodness for that, getting rid of the trades and have the limit of only 5. My lord begins a note from my genocide chief Vilnius. The writing of manuscripts come to a halt. Our oldest scholar and most experienced scholars pass away. Recommends investing more in scribes or risk a lowered quality of work. Funding is not an issue. Once again, the Grand Duke is trying to sow dissent with my realm, using a notorious criminal and forger. Luckily, my network of spies is able to apprehend the scoundrel and send him to my dungeons where he belongs. After short interrogation, the man confessed the name of his employer. Truly a dishonorable display. Oh, excuse me. There. That was a little hiccup. After we loot this bishopric, then we'll go back up to Java. The research I conduct in my observatory night is proving deeply fascinating. I could push my studies further, but I need to purchase more equipment for it to be meaningful. Must move forward. Easter's still around. Well, I better start swaying you now. I want you to guard the treasure. I'm going to do everything to please you. Because one day I'm going to get another treatment for my cancer. So I need you to stick with me. Even though there could be better potential candidates out there, but there aren't any. Not very much, anyhow. Unless we want to look for another wise man here. We should look for a resource right now. Now that we have time for the money. And start ransoming since we've been raiding a lot, and you don't want to let them to die in prison. We'll soon link up. Meet up here in Western Jukia very soon. There we go. Let's go. Last one. At least it'll reinforce faster coming from here. Might as well, because I hardly ever use the renown for anything. Let's do it. A few more. Actually, we're done here. So yes, the places that are adjacent to the capital Zambia, very well fortified. Will definitely protect from the many potential raiders. Especially the Norse raiders. One more. All these areas around here is just very fortified. This would demonstrate to say, don't mess with Prussia. Zednaya Dragovich can never be caught by surprise. Very perceptive. Put her under house arrest. She might be of some use someday. Let's raid together. Don't forget, you gotta take up a theology focus if you want more piety. And death of several important officials in Kiev around the same time has thrown the region a bit of a chaos. Given the difficulties of securing a reliable replacements for several positions at the same time, this will likely cause some disruptions in local administrations, but hopefully it'll be brief. 2 years reduction, so thankfully I've already prepared some contingency plans. We should consider that right now. Talking about the wise man. Who is the wisest around here? That could be the potential court position. That is not landed. You. Weak scholar. Kind of makes you feel like you're the equivalent of over there in India, a court guru. Like to come to my court. Well, let me pay you a bit of money just to like me more. Increases the likeliness. I will offer you, oh, I don't know. Prestige. But we'll get more prestige by raiding this and completing this mission. And whatever activities that relates to the Warrior Lodge. And winning in battles as well. Thank you. You're going to be the new decision because I kind of don't trust him. You know things better than I do. Bit by bit. Kiev is no longer restless. For some reason, I wake up about an hour or so before I do. I can't just go back to sleep, then the sun's already rising above the horizon. Oh, I feel a little tired. Perhaps I can take the opportunity to do something. Go outside and take a quick walk. My moodiness and tendency to lash out people is getting worse. I sleep too little and can't seem to stop worrying. There's a lot of pressure. Stress is not good, especially that you have cancer. She failed to help me get rid of stress. My reputation as a formidable raider has spread even to faraway lands. People everywhere speak the name of Kunkite in hushed tones. They fear that doing so might invoke me like a vengeful god to bring ruins upon themselves. Let them fear me. The rumors are true. The holder of the Jarfa tribe was filled with treasure. Since I was leader of Zelda, I will take the best share of the loot for myself, but I will not forget to share the part of this bountiful prize with my brothers and sisters of the band for informing me the existence of this treasure. Time to return home after we get a few more of these things. The minute of a spouse is gone, so two things. Who's going to be the domain overseer? Think we found our man already. At a relatively good age. But my stewardship isn't great enough for them to tell the duties of missions. That would work out for us. To be honest, I feel like we almost have nowhere else to raid. That relates to the resource that we're trying to look for. Head to here. Get the ships. Actually, meet up here. Really? One ship from there? Really, you can actually go through that. Is that possible? Cannot sail inland. Could go through here and out there. Fascinating. We'll go to our first overseas raid then. I've always wanted to raid this island, so that's the first place. Not again. I know what exactly he's trying to do. This man consorts with the cold ones. Oh yeah, do get rid of him. We're rivals now. If he wasn't at war, I would most definitely challenge him to a duel and kick his can. Just in case. I don't want to be out there if something really bad happens. So you're going out there. Actually, wait. Don't you know it's winter? Well, actually it doesn't matter. They'll be on land very quickly. Be careful. Now land quickly. You should not be sailing out in the winter. because we could have potential shipwrecks. Studies I conducted in my observatory have convinced that there are many strange things beyond the known cosmos. There are few sources and no one to share knowledge with me. But I've heard of a strange old scholar in the Arabian desert who is rumored to possess vast knowledge of the weird. I will go and see him. I will have to raid this soon. There's a tribe, but now there's this temple here. Hey, if I switch that scholarship focus away, would that end in the middle of this chain event that relates to the observatory? It's time to take up theology. You'll get some more piety-related events, if need be. Of course, that lowers my stewardship. There are many mysteries in the Baltic faith. It might be interesting to listen more to the ancient stories told by the devotees. I shall summon storytellers. Great value. But that is all there is to loot here. Where next? Finland proper. This would be a great place to loot. But since they're in the middle of a war, and they are a very strong nation, Gotland would be a great place to loot there. So that's where we shall next. The Necronomicon. I have arrived at the abode of the strange old scholar Ibrahim. After some persuasion, he invites me in to speak at length, and he tells me of the scholar Abdul Damad, who knew many things of the strange spheres beyond and of talking beings that are not human. I will find that Abdul Damad wrote a book called the Necronomicon, which he recorded many strange and unholy truths. Ibrahim says that he is impressed by my sincerity and desire for knowledge. He could sell me a copy of the book. He tells me to beware, however, as too much intense study of the Necronomicon is said to drive the reader insane. I must have it, because I don't have much in the way of books for myself. Good news. It's completed work on a new Baltic temple. I forgot about that, honestly. Assuming her place as priestess, all of Prussia rejoices and a week of celebration has been called for. Well done. Very happy. Forgot them. Even though it's fully occupied, but whoever is there, we shall raid them. I mean, we already have raiders. What you should be doing is... Barisla. Fuck this. Should be chased. There's actually nothing to loot here. This one we can raid. Where do you come from? The liege levy of shaman... What? Shaman. Shaman prevents... Oh, I almost forgot. Hang on. Am I hearing what I'm hearing? So he sailed from all the way from Kiev. Went through the Black Sea, through the Aegean, Mediterranean, through Gibraltar, through the Atlantic, through the English Channel. What on earth? I didn't know ships can sail from that far. I didn't know Kiev has a seaport. Nice, welcome. Now get back in here. Let's talk weapon etiquette, my good man. He's agreed that he needs my help in order to make him see things. Everything I asked my quartermaster to let us spend some afternoons organizing the army. I bet this year's spring cleaning is long overdue anyway. Let's not get carried away. I was hoping to become humble. That gives you more pride. Oh, man. You want me to duel against him for honor. The man hates me. He could kill me if he wanted it to. But it's for honor, not to the death. We think better. Despite what has gone on what feels like hours, the initial confidence I felt began to wane. My movements are getting sloppy, and just as my knees are about to give way under me, I smack my wooden staff at the side of his head. Walk away victorious. Fully fortified now. Ah, yes, the old captain. It's time for the drinking contest. We beat you in... I've beat you in an arm wrestling contest, but now... you decided to do a drinking contest. I shall be the one. Maybe one day we'll do it for honor. Several recruits accepted my challenge as the mere mention of free mead, and soon the main hall is filled with the cheering and clashing of tankards. The servants ringing the first bell while we all find a place at a long table, eager to start. Come on, start pouring already. I'll take a drink to that. Praise Davis for my wife's good counsel, no longer stressed. One by one, the other contenders either tap out or fall unconscious. I'm just about to raise my hand and drink another mouthful of mead when everything goes black. Finally, when I come back to my senses, one of the other warriors informs me that Vilnius this was the one to win the contest again. Cousin. Wait, how long was I? For how long I was out? Gonna expire next year. Just a reminder. A peasant in Kiev got lost recently while trekking near the wilderness. She came across a flat, vertical stone surface where the ancient rulers of the region carved various images and inscriptions. After she reported this to local officials, I sent in people to investigate, and it appears this stone is the last remnant of an opposing ancient monument. Is that so? The stone can't be reused, so it must stand where it is. Perhaps for all eternity. Send a few antiquarians to study it. Thought about tolerance. But this one for a little more piety again. Yeah, Majesty. Instead. In the past few months, I've spent many nights listening to the old myths and stories of the Baltic faith. The tales told of the Devas are most inspiring and contain much wisdom that can help me in my daily life. It is wise to listen and ponder. Oh, yeah. we're rivals now. Can't sway him anymore. Don't bother improving relations. This will be an even challenge. Oh dear. One hand, one leg, one eye. This may favor him, if he appreciates it. But he thinks he chose his opponent poorly. Did you lose another limb? Well, you're probably likely going to die anyhow. Nice knowing you. Not getting much loot out of this. Come on. We'll set the much to deal with as we're still looking for that domain resource. It's what I've been heavily investing on. As my troops ransacked the village of the Bonon tribe, they uncovered an interesting relic that Ilif had hidden away there. A wolf pelt? Really? Isn't that related to their faith? No, it's usable. It's clutter. The wolf pelt used as a charming house decoration, alternatively as a body warmer. Great. That's all you found? But anyways, get the loot. And put it on the ship. Did not know that's part of Scotland, but that island over there, next place to raid. Love. Because ain't nobody gonna bother it here. The vassal, the high chief of the Selonians, arguing with his wife, seems quite upset and they're almost screaming at each other. You don't notice them even watching them. I ought to intervene. He was upset I interrupted a private discussion. He wanted me to stay out of it. You should be grateful for my help. What's the matter with you? Don't judge me, because I'm short. He's going to loot all of Kiev, and I can do nothing about it. Because we don't have time to go to faraway provinces. We better get home soon. It's about to be winter, so we can land in Danzig and raid the neighbor. Come on, hurry up. Get all the loot. We gotta get back to the ship before the winter storms come and we may have shipwrecks. Seems a lot of people are making more enemies out of me. Come on, let's scram. We thought about considering to go to the lowland, but measles. It started just recently, so yeah, don't go over there. Quickly, before we lose everybody. It's not much, but it's a good start. As we are amateurs in overseas ratings. The recent influx of looted treasures encouraged buying and investment in Zambia, which in turn has attracted more warriors who are more hungry for gold. Excellent. This pack lasts for 4 years. It's definitely the place to be. I would buy this, but we're still looking for that resource. That's why we've been raiding intensively, so... These guys are next. It's got a city. Makes it attractive, but... However, they are strong. And they're fighting a subjugation war. Might as well go in. They're just retinue, so they're not going to do much about it. But be aware, that disease is coming over here. Maybe. I mean, diseases do not typically go to tribal areas. Especially into Polish territory where they have a little more disease resistance. Mm-hmm. Now you are Prussian. Oh, it's time for my treatment. You are the wisest of us all, so as long as you know what you're doing. So, he's presented me with a charred carcass of a cat and prompted me to dig in. As I ate, he told me how he had chased a plump feline around my holdings for hours. I felt he wanted praise for his hard work, but the vile taste of the meals kept me silent. I actually feel better. Thank you. Yeah, you better hurry the heck up. We're going to be setting sail soon. Because that disease is going to cause more problems. Yep, it's here. I don't know about this. Now scram. It ain't much. So. The holy site of Forman is an important center of the Baltic faith. Many great religious events are celebrated there, and the spirit of Lynma permeates the entire area. Where's that again? Oh, way over the ridge. It feels like a little pilgrimage. I should go. I'm obligated to. You handle it. I'm not gonna waste my piety. Scotland's under siege. Damn it. It means there isn't going to be much to loot in there. Although we could loot the holdings themselves, but what good would that do? And it seems the measles has not gone into Lawland yet, so might as well go over there. My visit to Foreman was certainly worth the time. I've wandered around secret halls and pondered the atmosphere and religious mysteries that lie hidden there. Praise Lima. Now I'm zealous. Excellent. And it's looted here. Grand banquet in Lithuania to honor my rule. Thank you very much. 500 more to go. Now that I'm zealous. Even though the Necronomicon is kind of slowing me down. Oh, by the way. Yeah, I'm still studying the stars. Okay. It hasn't ended yet. That little chain event. Whether or not. Oh dear. Here's my cartography. Yeah, you'll be that. We looted the place, now get the rest. And then we'll get the heck out of here. Infidel's temple's looted, that's what we need more of. And all that. My overseer stands fronted with plans to perform military operation in one of my restless provinces. As I hear the whole plan, it has been made clear that our men will engage the rebel groups across the province, taking advantage of our cavalry and strategically strike at several points. As I look at the map, hands clasped on my back, thinking about the final word for this mission. Go ahead, please. Oh! I have failed to realize. Why do not we have a notification that'll tell us to shut the gates? We should do that. Do we not have that as an option? We do not. My children! We gotta get out of this. We gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Where to? We can't stay here in Prussia. Not Kiev. That place gets looted a lot. Temporary residence. Yes, here. Yeah, just get out of here. Not allowed to move the capital again in 600 months. It's back to the traditional capital of Prussia. What traditional capital? I wanted to get out of here because of that damn disease. May never know that any one of us has contracted sickness. My children too. The mission was a failure. My light troops were bogged down by the enemy guerrillas who performed successful hit-and-run attacks. My light cavalry suffered heavy loss to its mounts, and as the rebels made fire targeting the horses, dismounting their riders, and turned our biggest advantage, the cavalry, into more foot soldiers. Pity. That's it. Get back here. Can't do it anymore. The Ascension of Basil. While some initially considered to be a weak ruler, perhaps one destined to be lost in history books, Basil Maria, who has proven herself over the last years of her rule to be effective, so much so that some in the Byzantine Empire are now whispering her name in the same tones once reserved for the great emperors of times past. There's a new belief that the Basilissa Maria will lead the empire to great power, perhaps even all the way to the restoration of the Roman Empire of old. Oh, I certainly hope so. Now she's a strong son. That's the reason why that notification came up. Distinguished commander. It took her a while to people to accept her, but despite her craving, but who are they to say no? Not to mention her beauty makes men weak to wish they would fall in love with her, at least during her younger years. And plus she wields Artemis's bow. The golden bow of Artemis given her by the Cyclops. It is believed that the arrows could bring sudden death and disease to women. What irony! The woman herself using Artemis's bow. She hasn't been coordinated for whatever reason. It is time for her to be coordinated in order to put that on. But it says, governance feudal, Byzantine Empire, has been coordinated. Actually, it just is, so she'll put that on in just a moment. Well, we were forced to move that capital. I wasn't willing to send a guardian to some other place for him to be raised, so he won't catch this disease. This is terrible. Now Rizhev gets an influx of loot. Dismissed. You know, we've been dealing with these troubles from these of ours that's come from there. We're thinking about fighting them in a Conquest War. Just to get them off our back. So be in position. And don't catch that disease. And since we are here, build, build, build. And get the steward to build it faster. I'm gonna fortify this place. And this is a restless province here. Which I'll use that right now. Oh no, I don't have it yet. Never mind. It is not escaping that Soviet commanders lack formal training in military tactics. I would like to offer service by my training. Vilnius, Kirsanand, and Kavalingus in the use of advanced battlefield stratagems. You all get flankers, and I will owe you a favor, which it's likely you're going to be on the council. You cripple. But I'll say no. You're trying to gain leverage on me. Look, I would move it back, but I cannot. It's a controversial decision. Also, by traditional capital of Prussia, you mean Lithuania? Well, I can't do that. Unless I give away the title, and then it's going to force me to move back to the countryside. Yeah. The kidnappers overpowered me, and I made sure not to call for help by stuffing a filthy rag in my mouth. Luckily, they did not get far away. Jade Techless and the guards managed to stream and catch them. Make sure they are severely punished. See the realm prosper. Now, let's win a war. I'm getting tired of these Avar attacks. They will pay. The diviners say politely that I can learn further in a wide array of subjects. It would be much more efficient if I spent some time each day taking lessons about the classical period from her. However, as I place myself in a position of student, that's not good for my prestige. On the other hand, an improvement of my knowledge is tempting. I'm willing to place the effort. I'm not an awful person, but I'm willing. Ready and willing. So we plan on fighting a conquest war for this area here. There's a temple here. Now you're probably Baltic. And she is told, okay, you know what? As we continue to raise her while on the house arrest, she is likely going to marry my son in future. I can see that. Perceptive and tall. That's very good. We're in position now. Alright. Alright. Off and on. Of Savir? That is little. None at all. No hope at all. But keep in mind, when we take this area, we'll be at borders with the Byzantine Empire. Even though we have no intentions in fighting them ever. But since she is slightly attracted to me, we could talk non-aggression. Let's begin with that, improving relations. And despite the fact that she's a strong Vasilisa, well, they say otherwise. They don't like the fact that the woman who's been ruling them for 20 years does now say strong bull. Bull as in, you know. So we'll begin to improve relations with the Empire. This is going to be a beginning of a pretty interesting relationship, potentially, between Prussia and Byzantium. But now let's deal with the Avars. That's been a thorn on our side as of late. No need to raid. Just occupy the temple. Oh, over there. She learns every subject much faster than most children. She is bright. The center of the world at large, good skills. It's such a pleasure taking care and educating Zignaya. Are you sure nobody wants her? She is most definitely going to be betrothed to my son. Which, matter, can we arrange that? No, not until she's released. Would love to recruit her. But you can only do that if, we can deal with that deadbeat. Oh! Anatolics. We've taken the objective, but what do they have to do against us? Oh, somebody else wants this land. Liberation War. Crap. Okay, we can get out of this. But we already occupied the land first, so... Bring more over here. Just in case. I did not expect that this would escalate. The Great Defense can meet up. We need this territory. And plus there could be more out there. For a long time now, I've not felt the presence of Devas in my thoughts. I'm starting to question whether gods exist at all, or they're just tales people made up to explain the world. These blasphemous ceilings will soon pass. 400 more. They've taken the objective. We need to fight them off. Damn! They took it. All that for nothing. Well, we're still going to defeat you, no matter what. Tyranny, you say. Why have you turned against me? No glory in this war, enemy's too weak. Well, there's no glory for you to be in the council either. Now they've installed a theocracy vessel. Well, we can't get that area now. But we'll take this instead. Because I still want to give the Avars a beating. There's trade routes here, actually. We should control that. Forget this one. Take Halych. But we're safe from enemy attack now. Land's empty. Occupy it, build a fort, and hold it. Maybe. With enthusiasm, I spend a part of my afternoons every day with my divine in order to improve my general knowledge by studying the classics. Rasuda says my improvements are good. Improving is the condition of the human being. If Byzantium ever dares to fight against us, they do have the strength to destroy us, but plus mercenaries. Whereas for us, 5,000 of us, and plus many more potential vassals. Which keep in mind, because of our current tribal organization, they will no longer provide me. No. Yeah, no longer potential. Potential vassal ally troops. Yeah, we don't do that anymore. That's a thing in the past now. This is all Anatolic control. Round 2 for drinking. Hold here. Come on, start pouring already. One by one, the other contenders are tablet or phone contests. I cannot see straight anymore, and everything is blurry. But I'm still standing as I gulp down another tankard and watch mindlessly as my last one falls headfirst into. While I'm still processing what happened, I proclaimed the winner of the contest amongst the cheers of the other warriors. Yes, I won. Beat him up. Move on. Although we could take the opportunity to fight against them, but middle of civil war, while we will take it, but however, she's proven herself why she is the strong one. Strong and beautiful she is. Huh. You go for this instead. I got a different path for you. That damn disease has still not gone away yet. In my dream last night, I lived in a beautiful cottage. It was simple, it had all manner of convenience. I had all the food, drink, and entertainment I needed to live a happy life. When I woke up, I found myself missing the place. It was a fine dream, all said. Everybody's released, while we will take the Kogan. That land is mine. Win the war. Unless we build a temple, there's going to be problems. That counted as a holy war, you know. You can only do that every 5 years, but that's a conquest, so it's kind of lessens that. I'm still quite unsure about fighting against the Byzantine Empire. You know, just to have this big piece of land. And yet, when you fight against them, that's only going to be for conquest for these areas, and that's going to add more tensions. Tensions that we do not need. Unless another massive civil war breaks out. Here's Caesar. It's a minor title. So, as I said, there's bound to be problems between us and Byzantine Empire now that we're bordered with each other. But we still have a purpose. Reform the faith. And I gotta stop reading that Necronomicon, despite the fact it gives me good learning. See? It gives me learning, but it reduces piety. And diplomacy, too. I'm still dying of cancer. Probably seek fame and glory. But that'll be for the next episode. Because on the next episode, it's quite likely that the cancer isn't going to kill me. As long as I continue to focus on theology and all that, even at this advanced stage, that soon we will reform the Baltic faith, and then we'll have to do something about the Byzantine Empire in our borders to whether or not, to debate whether or not that that we should become unlikely allies or the worst of enemies. But judging her and that she proved herself to be the strongest of us, huh? I think we should be allies. A negotiated ally. Which first you gotta offer non-aggression, and then we'll consider making an alliance between the two of us. And then we can work together to deal with, you know, the worst of enemies. And you know what that means? Since, you know, we have a seaport in Kiev, which has a problem being looted, we gotta start building, you know, galleys, ships from here. Something we ought to do now. Even though that means we would have to send just a little bit at a time in order to intervene in one of their conflicts. Yeah, I can see that in the future. I can see that. And don't worry about the monetary issue. We'll be back to raiding our neighbors. There, there, over there, and wherever else. The Holy Roman Empire's got themselves back together now. And fairly intimidating as well by the looks of things. England is its own kingdom. Leon is holding on. Here, Western Protectorate, the Satrapy of Fergana, son of Angramainu, which indicates, yes, there's a Zoroastrian remnant. So, at least a little bit. I don't see any Abbasids. What happened to them? There's another Zoroastrian area. This is the one. Yep, definitely Zoroastrian. Peasant ruler, zealous for a mountaineer. Zoroastrianism ain't dead yet. But what happened to the Abbasids? One last check before we get out of here. There is a caliph, but where is the caliphate itself? What happened? If anything, I mean, heck, even the Syriac faiths are even still around. Probably descendants of ones who rebelled and they successfully took. It's wild, man. What happened in the Middle East during this whole playthrough? I mean, that's the look of the world, at least a bit of that. So yes, the name Prussia is really visible since it was in the beginning. So in the next episode, one thing's for certain. Should the Byzantine Empire become our worst of enemies or best of friends? We want to improve relations with them in order to not threaten us as we look to reform the faith, which will likely happen in the next episode if I live through this council. Even though this Necronomicon stuff is really hindering my progress. But hopefully we'll find seclusion and meditation events and all that. As I'm more of a religious man than just a raider and all that. But still, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and hopefully big plans will be happening in the next. But until then, so long for now. Actually, one more thing. There's the Caliph of Sunni Islam. He's actually over there. That's where he is. Yeah, just want to let you know on that note. So, we'll see you in the next episode.